I've got some new purchases here, some bit holders. We're going to compare to the Weha Centrofix. We're going to check out bit compatibility and run out on these viewer recommendations over here. If you don't follow me on Instagram, then you didn't see these other two new acquisitions. These were inspired by Mika in Finland. He sent me some photos of some modifications that he did, and I thought they looked pretty cool. So these are my choices. This one is getting hard to find. I can't find it on Amazon Japan anymore. Got this from JDV Tools in New Jersey. This is the Antimicrobial ball grip. These bit holder, blade holder style ball grips are deep. So that goes all the way in. And there's good friction there, but it does find the detent there. Then the other one is a through tang with a striking cap. And in this one, I put the stainless steel CentroFix. I don't know if the stainless steel CentroFix is even available anymore. But this one fits in there like that. There's the detent. And then if you push down on a fastener, it's going to take the slack out like that. And then I put a stainless steel vessel diamond coated bit in here to finish off the theme. Mika also mentioned the Hultafors bit holder. This one is made in Germany, and this one is really hard to acquire in the United States. If anybody knows of a good, easy way to acquire this in the United States, please do comment. I got mine from Snickers Workwear out of the UK. Came snail mail through the Postal Service. I have to say that I do like the Hultafors handle. I like the design, I like the diameters, I like the through hole. The chuck is magnetic, and they have a single flat metal piece that lines up right there with an E6 detent. It's definitely not as good as the CentroFix. For E6 bits, it's better than the Hotset 810. Does it fit Japanese anvil bits? It's just the magnet holding it in. There's a little bit of wobble there. It really isn't too bad, but it's not as good as the Hotset 810. And if you're not familiar with the Weha CentroFix, this thing is almost rock solid. There is the tiniest bit of play there, but it feels really good like a screwdriver. So the non-slim ends are like this. These ends that are slimmed down, not a chance. So does that lock into the C6 style notches? I think it does. How deep is this? It's not bad. That's what an insert bit looks like in there. Here's a typical 1-inch bit or 25 millimeter. That locks in there. So that is a look at the made in Germany Hultafors SW 1/4 inch. So this is the Connext 1, is made in Taiwan. So the Malco is quite deep. It's got magnetic retention. So there's two sides to the hex that are opposing, and those are the two sides that they put the locking BBs on. So here's E6, the magnet catches it, that locks it. There's a little bit of play there, it's not too bad. What about Japanese anvils? Do not lock. It's magnetic retention only. There's the wobble. It's not too bad. Not as good as the Weha CentroFix. Let's see here. So it hits the plastic spring, so this is how deep that is. Probably not going to want to put 25 millimeter bits in there. Does it lock C6? No. All right, let's see if there's any surprises with the Japanese double-ended. Nope. There's the wobble. What about the slender? No lock. Lots of wobble. No surprise there. All right, so that's the Malco Connext 1. Got this from JDV Tools in New Jersey. So this has a completely different style of bit, HIOS, and these are the 4mm variety of those. So this vessel has a threaded collet, and that thing absolutely takes all of the play out of that. So when I started exploring this bit style, I was hoping that these quick change chucks would be rock solid. For precision micro stuff, there's just more sloppiness there than I would like. Well, this one doesn't have any of that. This one is rock solid. So that is the Made in Japan Vessel 910HD-73. Viewers wanted to know if double-ended bits fit in the Weha CentroFix. This one is a little bit wobbly, and the slender ends, you know, they work, but they're wobbly. It's just not a good solution. So yes, this handle size in the ESD version is smaller than the handle size in the full-size Weha CentroFix. Yes, the bit holder is identical on these. I have another video that goes into much more detail about the Weha. I'll link to that at the end of this video. So this is my Makita XGT drill. This chuck is made in Japan. This is my Milwaukee drill. I'm assuming this chuck was probably made in China. Before I start showing the wobble in these products, in the Made in Japan chuck on the Makita. So we're going to put the Milwaukee aside. This Makita with the Japanese chuck in it is the truest running drill that I have. Here's the old CentroFix that I've had for years, and I have used this example to advise people not to buy these CentroFix bit adapters unless they're just going to be hand turning it. And I thought, well, let's see if Weha has made any improvements, or if by chance I just end up with one that's right on. So this one isn't as bad, but it still has wobble. So this was my recent acquisition. It is encouraging that it's better than my old one. Just have a feeling that when they jam this hex shaft into that, something gets bent and distorted. Just for reference, here's what the bit holder looks like compared to the adapter. I feel like I still need to caution people to beware of these CentroFix adapters because they tend to have wobble. So the Milwaukee's got a little bit of run out. The C6 bit locks in there really nicely. But they've got run out in this shaft. So you get some wobble on this one. What about Japanese bits? Okay, they don't lock, but they are pretty good in here. There's a little bit of play. All right, what about C6? Yep, that's definitely locked in there. Little bit of play. So this is the Fastcap Taperlock. This is made in Taiwan. No detent required, no groove, and no notch required. Okay. Here's a Philo M-Tech that has no notch. Okay. Yep, I would say that definitely locks on there. There's a little bit of wobble there. Let's see here. Let's put that in like that. Whoa, where's all that wobble coming from? So Taperlock is having the same problem that the Weha CentroFix is. When they press fit this hex shaft into this round, you get a lot of distortion and imprecision. Yeah, I'm not going to use that. Even if you're using short bits like this, man, that would be irritating. I appreciate the viewer's suggestions, and I had high hopes for this taper lock. So the taper lock has got one locking BB on one side. So I think the whole thing kind of works like a wedge. And that's similar to what Weha CentroFix Force is. The CentroFix Force doesn't have any locking BBs. It's just tapered down to a wedge so that when you put something in it, it wedges in there. It just seems to be the same old problem of press fitting these hex shafts into round holes. It ruins all the engineering and all of the precision that's in these bit holders. It's so disappointing. So this is another one that is made in Taiwan. This one is branded Malco. This one is rebranded a lot of different ways. So I got the Bosch and the Malco. Their design strategy on this one was to put 3 locking BBs on 3 opposite sides. There's no magnet, similar to the CentroFix. Even with this Japanese bit, there's very little wobble. So here's an E6. Japanese anvil. It actually locks in this. And it feels pretty tight. But that wobble that's in there is the disappointment. Japanese double-ended don't work in that one. The C6 bits. That seems okay. So I thought maybe it's just this one, and I got a bad example. So I got the Bosch, and I think the Bosch, even though it's longer, I think it was actually cheaper. The run out here is pretty good. Here's E6. This one so far is the best. Here, let's try C6. And the other one. So that brings me to the Snappy Tools Made in the USA bit adapter. It's all machined. They aren't pressing a hex shaft into a round hole. There's one large locking BB in there. So they seem to be putting a locking BB in there that almost fills up the size of that detent, which makes sense to me. So you get a little bit of axial play, but it's not too bad. And there's not very much bit wobble there. That's pretty good. All right, so let's put this in the best, truest drill chuck that I have. I got this. I was so excited for this product. But there's wobble there, and I just am at a loss to understand why. I forgot to also point out this is the quick insert style. Does not lock the Japanese bits. Here's a C6 bit. Does not lock onto C6. And it wobbles. Let's see here. Does it lock into the smooth shaft of the Philo? No. All right, what about the Japanese plastic spring with the E6 anvil? What about a small E6 bit? Whoa! Okay, so you can see how deep that is. Fortunately, you can get the bit out because it's not magnetized, so you're not going to put short bits in this. So hopefully this video gives you the information you need to make the decisions that work for you. All right, if you feel so inclined, feed the algorithm for me. Stay tuned, and thank you for watching.